All right, thanks everyone for coming out. Welcome to the Hex 29 press conference. We've got a massive card in store for Saturday night. We've got 3 title fights and some huge fights on the card. At the press conference, we've got the lightweight title fight between interim featherweight champ Abdala and lightweight contender Harry Webb. We've got Mickle defending his welterweight strap against Alden Bates. We've got interim champ Cody Haden. He's going to be facing off against Oger. And then we've got a rematch in Campbell and Matt Vale. The card's just stacked top to bottom. And I'll hand it over to you, Mitch, for the first question.
First up, Abdala, do you consider yourself the real Hex champion, or is Khan still the official champion in your mind?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on that. What's the scenario as well? I don't know what's happening on there. So I haven't spoken to the promoter or Khan about it. So I'm pretty sure I am, because we're supposed to fight for the actual belt, because I got the interim belt. But I don't know what's going on there. Well, I told myself I'm going to be a double champ. So here we go. We'll move on.
Will it take any of the shine off if you do become a double champ? Because it's not sort of Khan is still claiming that he's the official champ.
But Khan is scared, man. He doesn't want smoke. I want smoke. I don't know what he's running from, but he knows that I'm next up for the actual belt, but he doesn't want it, man. He doesn't want it, and I always wanted him, always did, but he never wanted smoke. I want all the smoke. That's why I'm trying to go up and be like, hey, I'm moving on. If you don't want Wisco fight, I'm moving on.
Will you, let's say you do win on Saturday, will you defend the featherweight belt? Do you have plans on doing that at all?
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Right now, it's just I got a guy in front of me, and he's dangerous, and we're going to just bang it out. We'll see what happens.
And Mickle, mate, a lot has changed since the last time we were here. You were the hunter, you're now the champion. Normally in this situation, you feel like the hunted, but you are clearly still the hunter, as you sought this Alden Bates matchup out. Why?
If you take a look at him, Alden Bates is probably one of the hardest hitting knockout artists in the welterweight division, and he's a devastating dude, and that's the sort of fight that I've been looking for.
Campbell, Matt Vale, this is probably one of the most energy-filled matchups that we're all looking forward to. 6 years in the making in this rematch. I'll start with you, Kit. There seems to be a bit of animosity. There was the last fight. Where did it stem from?
There's no animosity. I mean, we're both at the top of our game, and we both want that one thing, and that's to be fighting for a major organisation like the UFC. So, the stakes are high. The stakes are high again, and
yeah, same sort of thing. When you're both at the top of the food chain, you want to really beat the other one, so you put it all on the line for it.
And I'll stay with you, Matt. Your fans are relentless on social media. Are you aware of that at all? Because you seem like quite a subdued guy, but your fans are, I'll say it again, relentless on social media.
Hear it?
They're very passionate.
It's good. They like to get about it, but I think they just want to see me get some fights and get some wins back on the board. It's been pretty slow the last 4 years, so I'm excited for what's to come.
I want to ask Alden Bates. Alden, this is, as far as I remember, this is the second time you'll be fighting for a title in your professional career, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, correct.
When you look at the man who first fought for a professional title earlier in your career, and you look at the man you are now, what differences do you see?
Good question. So you asking what the differences, John Mickle against Abdala?
Now I'm asking differences within yourself.
Oh, okay. The difference between myself is just consistency. A bit more experience in life, in training, a bit more hunger. I know we've all got a small period of time that we've got a window to compete at the highest level, which we're all at right now. So you need to go. You need to put all your eggs into the one basket and absolutely fight for your life. So that's kind of the difference. It's more before you're laying out time frames. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. There's no doing this and doing that. You go right now, or it's nothing. Everything's all in. So that's the difference between last title fight and this one.
Thank you. Paul Oger, the last time we saw you were meant to fight for this title. You were preparing for a 3-round fight that pushed to a title fight, and you discussed about you felt the difference between the last 2 rounds in a fight is hard, and that's what it comes down to. To now be fully prepared for a 5-round fight, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel amazing. Damo's done a great job prepping me for a 5-rounder, but I still stick to it. The last 2 rounds of training, it's all hard to breathe. If you don't have it, you're going to quit, and I've got that quit in me.
Thanks very much. Harry, I wanted to ask, you were fighting a man who's incredibly, he's got a long history, he's got a very impressive resume, and the man sitting to your left fought a man who also has a very long resume. I asked him about kind of taking that build-up that your opponent has. Where does a win over Abdala place you in the local scene?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, placed me right at the top. He's the pound-for-pound number 1 on Tapology at the moment, number 1 lightweight, number 1 featherweight. So, yeah, win over Abdala is massive for me, and puts me 4 fights forward than I would have taken if I hadn't have taken this opportunity. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it puts me right at the top.
And Kit, a similar question to what I asked Alden. This is the second time you'll be facing Matt. When you look at the man who fought Matt the first time compared to yourself now, what differences do you see?
Yeah, a lot has changed. You know, like Alden was saying, personally, I feel the same way. Family life, everything. Yeah, just a completely different man. So it's going to be, yeah, I think a one-way street when I get in there.
And Jono, typically the heaviest belts will main event. Jacob has confirmed that your fight will not be main eventing. Do you feel any way about that?
No, these guys are just trying to put together good fights. At the end of the day, as long as they put together a fight for us, that's all I can ask for.
Just got a couple of quick ones for you boys. Mr. Jono, a few people, myself included, thought you've probably got enough done in your narrative to sort of jump off and get maybe the contender series spot or something. Not only you're sort of staying local, but you're chasing pretty hard matchups. So aside from obviously that international competition, what's the drive? What sort of storyline are you trying to put forth with your career?
Well, I'd just like to completely separate myself from the other welterweights, and I think that in beating Alden, it does that, and it really gives me the clearer shot at either contender series or the UFC, whichever one it may be.
Yeah, beautiful. So again, it's not just that. You know, obviously the international career is huge, but you want to be known before you go across there as absolute undeniable number 1 person in that weight class in Australia.
Yeah.
And a similar question. You know, you've done a really good job, particularly in the last couple of years, creating a real storyline for yourself. You've just recently gone overseas, got a finish. Instead of staying in your own weight class and getting stuff done there, you decided, I'll jump up, take on the new phenom, killing it. What are you trying to sort of get across as well? People think about Abdala and the local scene. What are you trying to explain to them?
I'm just trying to separate myself, like Jonah said, separate myself from everyone. And yeah, I'm just enjoying the journey, to be honest. You know, you never hear me saying, oh, I'm ready for the UFC, I'm ready for the big league. No, I'm just enjoying every moment. And I just want to get as much experience as possible. That's all I'm trying to do.
I don't have too many questions going because I'm not a professional, but I do have a question for Harry. I've talked to a lot of fighters. I just did a podcast with Jack Jenkins, and he had a lot to say about you. You're one of the hottest prospects in Australian MMA right now. Do you feel in your heart that this is a big come-out fight for you?
Yeah,
if
for sure.
It goes your way?
For sure, yeah. Abdala is a legit opponent, and I think if I can go out there and prove myself against him, then I'm legitimising myself as a prospect in Australia.
And do you feel like that pressure do you feel like that's going to drive you, or has it been weighing on you on camp? Or
No, it hasn't weighed on me. I think if anything, it just motivates me. I feel like for me, the bigger the challenge, the higher the level that I'll rise to. So yeah, it's easy to be motivated for fighting the best in the country.
Easy boys, thank you for all your time. I hope you all do well in your fights.
What's going on? This is for Cody. The last 12 months have been pretty difficult for yourself with injuries and stuff like that, and getting back into the cage. How are you feeling coming into this fight week, and how excited are you just to get back in there?
Yeah, it's great to be back. I mean, I feel like I was born to do this shit, so very frustrating when you can't be in there consistently. But yeah, camp was amazing. Pretty much, got right back into hard training as soon as this year started, and I've been training real hard up until this point. So I feel like, like I said before, I am myself when I'm here fighting, so that's where I'm going to be as much as I can. Obviously, it was a frustrating time, but there's nothing really I can do about it. Just had to wait it out. Yeah, but all healthy now.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. Jono, you're a Melbourne boy, mate, hometown crowd. How exciting is that for you? What does it mean to fight in front of the hometown boys?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's sort of the only thing I've ever known. I'm always fighting out, so I think I might take it for granted a little bit. But always exhilarating, especially fighting in front of my own family and friends.
And Harry Webb, mate, you're up and coming. You got the nickname of Human Highlight Reel. Do you feel any extra pressure to go out there and live up to that name every time you get in there?
Nah, not at all. I think my style just lives up to the name by itself. So I just focus on my performance, and the highlight reels just keep coming. So
we'll probably give it back to Mitch here. He's a lot better at this than everything. So Mitch, jump up.
This one's for Jacob. Is the Campbell fight number 1 contender fight?
It's not, and I saw on your Instagram that you thought it was, so it wasn't on our Instagram that was posted. It's definitely a fight that's going to shape the welterweight division going forward, but not on record as a number 1 contenders fight.
John, is it difficult in these sort of situations to see some of your contenders fight? You're going against Elden Bates as well. But then you've got close friends as well, which you want to see them elevate as well. But do believe, unless I'm mistaken, you and Kit are quite close. Is that difficult to kind of want their careers to do well, but then of course you don't want to be put in that situation to fight each other?
Yeah, it is difficult, especially if you get relationships with people that you train with. But we're fighters, and the fighter's always going to fight at the end of the day. So, if that, you know how that stuff goes.
Have you guys had that conversation though? Or is that just to give a...
No, we haven't. But I think that Kit and I both know that what was with that was to come.
What was that?
I think that Kit and I both know that we'll avoid it. But if it were forced our hand, then it would have to.
Yeah, we would address it when it comes to it.
And so, Kit, this Mount Vale fight, not too many people, especially on the regional level, get a chance to do over. You do. So what's going to be different? What went wrong in the last fight?
Everything's going to be different. From my preparation has been different. Obviously, how I'm going to handle the fights is going to be different. Pretty much everything from the first fight is going to be different.
It was fiery from the start, even when you guys both met in the cage. Will that be toned down at all, or are you still going to come with that level of energy?
We'll just have to wait and see on Saturday.
Cody Haden, you've been dubbed the future for nearly 14 years. I think there was a video of you holding hands as a 12-year-old. You've been a national champion in boxing and jiu-jitsu and all that sort of stuff. But you're now getting older, and these injuries have happened, and you're watching teammates and other people around you go on to that next level and succeed quicker than you would have hoped that you could. Is that frustrating at all? Do you even think about that?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I wanted to do this stuff since I was literally 6 years old and wanted to be in the UFC. So my 18th birthday, I wasn't there yet. I cried because I was like, fuck, I don't want to be that guy who's there. So it is super frustrating. But I mean, you can't choose your genetics. You just got to accept things for what they are. I mean, I've been unfortunate, had injuries and stuff, probably because I trained too much as a kid. Fuck myself up, So, but yeah, I'm getting smarter as I'm getting older. And I know that I already know how to fight, and like you said, I just need to actually make the wall more often. So I'm much more aware of my recovery and stuff like that now. And I mean, yeah, it is frustrating. Yeah, here we are. I'm just glad that this fight, I'm all good here. So, yeah, I'm not thinking about that right now.
On Bates, how does this fight go down with John and Mickle on Saturday?
It goes down. You tell me, Mitch. You got 2 strong welterweights. Both confident, both fit, big punches, good wrestling. I think it's a guaranteed fireworks. If you had to put money on it, it's gonna be. John knows there's no secret. I'm gonna come and try and punch his face off. I'm gonna punch holes through him. He's gonna do the same to me. Who's better at punching holes through your face? Obviously, I feel like John is gonna try and bring on the wrestling a little bit more than he has in other fights. But same again, we'll see. We're prepared for all of it. So. Yeah, I think it's going to be a big fight for me, definitely. So I'm excited. And also I want to say just there, Mitch, you said to Jono, obviously you saw after the fight, thank you to Jono for putting it forward, but it's good timing. You know, we all know, you just spoke about Cody then, he's injured, we're all injured, we're all got different stuff going on in life. This fight with the Hex guys and yourself and Jono, it made itself, really. We all know that. Obviously, my opponent got pulled out, injured. And Jono, yeah, he was the first one to mention it, and respect to him, because I think it's a mistake for him, but we'll find out on Saturday.
Jono, do you think it's a mistake?
I don't. I really don't. I think he said he's fighting for 12 years. I've only been doing martial arts for 5 years total. So in terms of mistake, no, it sounds like a short time, but I'm 100% ready. I'm young. I'm good to go. And if so, I think that there's more to learn here than anything. And I've still got a huge career ahead of me. So if anything, I've just got somewhere to gain everywhere.
Who do you think's going to win out of that today, other than Campbell?
Oh, good question again. I think that's the same question as the last one. You've got two strong boys, two highly technical guys. We spoke a few days ago. I didn't know too much about Matt up to the last probably 6 months. I've watched a few videos. Obviously, I've studied kit. I've fought kit in the past, so I know a lot more about kit. And it's a funny one. You've got two bangers. Who's gonna come out on top? I'm not sure. I just think it's going to be a good fight, if I'm honest. As a fan, I would be paying to watch that. So I don't even care who wins. If it's not the number one, if it is the number one, I'll fight either of them afterwards. I'm happy to number one contender or whatever it is. You pick it out. You send us to Auckland in May. Let's go. But I think it's going to be a good fight. It can't be a bad fight. Who do you think, Mitch, is going to win? Who do you favour?
I think I would like it to be a draw.
What, double knockout draw?
Finally, I just wanted to leave this on Harry Webb 3-0. I never critique anyone for getting the title shot too early. But 3-0, what do you say to people that say it might be too early for a title shot?
I'd say I just took the opportunity that was given to me. Obviously, the promoters think that I'm ready, so and I think I'm ready, and I'll prove that on Saturday night.
Do you have a prediction?
A highlight reel, baby.
Abdala, you just shook your head there. Do a say?
We'll see, bro. It's not gonna.
It's not right. Thank you.
Abdala, you spoke earlier about not necessarily wanting to look past Harry and kind of what can come next. You're a gentleman who this will be your 5th professional title fight. Does it get training at all when you're performing so well and the future kind of seems unclear?
Yes, it does, man. It's just like I'm just like delivering the results, but what am I doing it for? Obviously I want to get to that next step, but all I tell myself is just stay true. Keep doing what you're doing and just get as much experience and knowledge. And when the time comes, I'm ready.
When you're in those moments of kind of, we'll say second guessing yourself, I'll use that phrase, you said that you kind of told yourself, is there things you do to try to remember to keep you on track?
Yeah, I just always tell myself I'm good enough. This is why, there's a reason why I'm here. I'm good enough and I can push it, to the next level.
To be preparing for your 3rd 5-round fight in a row, on the training side and the physical side, does that get draining at all?
No, it gets easier. So it got definitely easier, and mentally, physically as well. So it's good.
You're a man who has spent time at lightweight before in your career. You seem to have found a home at featherweight, now going again to lightweight. If you capture the title, do you see yourself staying at lightweight? Do you see yourself going between?
I want to bounce between featherweight and lightweight. Like lightweight, I truly feel like it's my actual natural weight, and I feel stronger in that weight. Featherweight, pretty good as well. I actually feel Wisco pretty strong in that weight as well. I think I can dominate both Wisco weight divisions. So I truly believe that.
Now, Matt, I asked Kit this question. I'll ask you the same thing. Between that last time you faced Kit and now, what evolution do you see in yourself?
I think it's just time working on things. Had a lot of fights fall through, so I've obviously had time between camp to work on several different areas. And I think, I personally have grown a lot, and yeah, I reckon just a more all-rounded fighter, and it's going to show exactly like it did the first time. He's obviously going to be a bit smarter this time. I expect him probably to grapple a bit more. So yeah, it's going to be fireworks.
You talked about there's a bit of an extended gap where you didn't get a chance to fight, and now you fought at the end of last year, you're fighting again now at the beginning of this year. How is it to kind of be back in the swing of it, getting books, getting fights?
It's good. So much better motivation, and looking to the future with having fights coming back in. So yeah, it makes training harder, a lot easier, and yeah, looking forward to it.
And I don't want to encourage anyone to look past their opponent or look through anything, but Hex is going to New Zealand. What does that card kind of mean to you, and is that something you'd be looking at?
Well, there's probably a reason that we're the only non-title bout that's sitting here on the table. I think they know that I have a big following back home, so they'd love to have me on the show back home, obviously.
Thank you guys very much.
Paul, do you feel overlooked in this fight? I think we've gone through most of this press conference. You know, a lot of questions have come your way. Do you feel overlooked at all?
Nah, I don't really like to anyway. I like fighting. So, yeah, it's all good. You guys keep asking questions, and I'll get ready for Saturday night.
Well, speaking of that, last press conference, you were the man of the hour. You got into a bit push and shove and talking back and forth with certain fighters. This one seems to be a little bit more subdued. Do you prefer having an opponent like Cody who's nearly as quiet as you at times, or do you like hating your opponent?
No, I don't like hating my opponent. He wasn't even my opponent last time, someone else's. And we couldn't get the job done, so it makes it look 10 times worse on him. But no, like, I punch my friends every day in the gym, so it doesn't matter if I like him or not. We've got money on the line and we've got belts on the line. I'm coming to take a head off.
And do you still want that fight with him and head all the way down the line?
I couldn't care less. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he embarrassed himself and he's been very quiet lately, so it's nice.
And finally, what can we expect into you against Cody Haden on Sunday?
I come forward, he comes forward, and one man's left standing. Good. Won't go the distance. So,
thank you.
No other questions?
Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone who came out. Thanks to the media teams and the fighters. Hex 29 goes down on Saturday night. The pay-per-view in Australia and New Zealand is available on beIN Sports. For anyone watching outside of Australia and New Zealand, you can stream it live on Live Combat Sports. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Saturday night.